Okay, I am going to show you the easiest routine that you're ever going to find, like to get ready for, like just to run out and do errands, or even go to the gym, or me every single day for work. So there's some days that I take a lot longer on my makeup, but most of the time my everyday makeup is not my, like to put on fake lashes and a lot of like extra stuff. It's really simple. And the reason why it's simple is because, so a little while ago, my daughter, Grace, was selling this stuff. And they come in these little compacts. And each of your highlight and contour comes in these little teeny tins. And so when you run out of these tins, you don't have to buy the whole compact. You just buy the little teeny tin. And this one has like 2 different stacks on it. So it's got this stack on it, and then underneath it's got a different, like, so I keep my highlight and contours up here, and then down here I keep my like lip and cheek and blush, and then a highlight color, like for under my eyes. But I even have my old one, so if I just have to even simplify it beyond that, I have 4 things that I can use. And so they are so inexpensive, and I'll leave you a link to be able to go look at the stuff, but it's called mascara makeup. And I don't know if you have heard of it or you haven't heard of it, but here is why it was appealing to me. So I'm 45, I'm maybe 46, and I just barely learned how to highlight and contour probably about a couple years ago. But the problem was I would use something like this. So let me show you what it looked like. I mean, who doesn't have just a crap load of makeup? But I would have a, like this. So they would be, you know, you'd buy this at like Ulta but the problem was with the powder contours is that they would settle in my wrinkles. And as you can see, I have up here wrinkles, and I definitely have like discoloration underneath my eyes, and then I have wrinkles around my mouth and my lips. And whenever I do the powder contour, it would settle on my wrinkles, and so it drove me crazy. And so this makeup doesn't do that. Well, while asking Grace if she wanted to continue to sell the makeup, she is crazy busy, and she's a senior and she's gonna graduate soon. And she's like, you know what, I just don't want to do it for a minute. And I'm like, I'll do it for you. And the reason why is because I know that there's a lot of people like me that it drives them crazy that they do their whole makeup and then they're not satisfied, or they still feel like the dark circle shows, or that the makeup settling or creasing. And so by a lot of trial and error, I figured out a way to use the mascara makeup and just a couple other like really inexpensive ways to do your makeup to not have it crease. So I'm going to show you that today. I'm not going to do a full like crazy, you know, out to dinner makeup. I'm just going to do my every single day makeup. So the first thing I have to address before that, make sure that you've moisturized and that you've let it stay for a minute. So I usually moisturize my face. Right now I am using Tula, but my friend Stacy from Stacy's Aesthetics, she is giving me Studio Image, I think it's Studio Image, to try and see if I can like just get more hydration in my face, because I feel like that I've been drinking a lot of water, but this area right here underneath your eyes, it gets so like, and that's what makes, I think that makes your makeup crease and makes you have more wrinkles, is when you're not hydrated. So if you have a hydrating eye cream or something like that, that's the best to use. So before I start, I make sure I have my moisturizer on it. I let that set for a minute while I'm doing my hair or whatever, and then I put, I just pat on eye cream right here. Just really like not, and just let it sit for a minute. So I'm already at that stage. That's where I'm at right now. And so mascara makes an awesome product, and it's called Stay Spray, but Grace used it all, so I have to use just a regular setting spray, which a setting spray is going to be fine. I like theirs because it works really well with their makeup. They have one that has SPF 20 in it, and then they have one without the SPF in it. So the first thing I do before I do anything is I make sure that I put a setting spray or mascara Stay Spray on. And you can be as liberal as you want with that. And then, you know, you want it to dry. So while it's drying, I kind of just organize my stuff. I get my stuff out. As you can tell, I'm a big efficiencies person. I like to have it go in order, and I like to have it go as fast as it can. So how to speed this up if you don't want to wait for that to have a beauty blender. A beauty blender is like going to be one of your key things besides the brushes, which I ordered a whole bunch of brushes. Mascara's having an awesome sale on their brushes right now where you can get all of them, every brush, and both of them are dual end. This is the 30-second hack brush, but I ordered like all of their brushes because I love, love, love them. So depending on how much coverage you want on your face is going to be the brush that you're going to use. But a beauty blender, they have beauty blenders on mascara, but just make sure it's one that's actually going to be, when it holds the water and you wring it out, that it's going to be nice and keep the moisture but not be too damp. So that's the key to this is you're going to take your beauty blender, run it under water, squeeze it in there, make sure water gets in that, then squeeze it really, really tight. And then what I do is I take a towel and just do the rest of it off. And so you want it to be you want it to be able to be squishy, you know? And so when you very first get them, they're really, really hard. They need water and then squeezing them out. So make sure you do that. So I'm to that point, but if you did that Stay Spray on there and then you wanted to just kind of go through and just put it in, make sure it goes in the rest of your face, that speeds that up a little bit. So one of the things that I've noticed is that it takes a lot to color correct underneath here, and I've tried everything. I've literally tried everything. So with mascara, I can color correct it by using their Mango, which is a peachy color. It looks like this. It's this one right here. And you're not going to tell it's full peachy color because oranges correct the dark. And so sometimes the Mango will work on me, and then sometimes I actually even need more. But today I'm going to try the Mango and see what kind of coverage I can get and to clean up those. So I just use, when I'm doing my eyes right here, when I'm trying to, and I feel like I have that light bright, the little ring light too much. Okay, there. So I go through and I actually just tap it where I need it. So I go under here and I'm going to tap it, and so people are going to tell you, like, depending on who does it, get it right up to the lash line, and then some people like, don't get it up to the lash line because everybody's lash line creases. So I kind of just find that happy medium. I do it the same every time. So I'm going to come through, and it's really hard because I'm doing this on my phone rather than on a mirror. So if I keep looking this way, that's why my mirror's right there. So see, I'm just kind of correcting the dark, because that's really, like, that is just something, and a lot of people inherit it. Like my grandma was full-blooded Italian, and most Italians have, like, anytime you have like a darker pigmented skin, it's like you're gonna have the dark circles. So I put those in there. I just I tried to correct that. And then if you have any dark spots, like I have some over here, so I try to correct those ones. And then I have one on my chin. So any of those age spots, I just try to correct it with this, which it does a really good job. So after I do that, sometimes I'll press it in, just make sure that it's in on my eye. And that's why I love the Beauty Blender, is that you're really making sure that it's in there. And see, you can still see them, but we're gonna fix it. So just hang tight. Most women have, like, unless you've had filler, which these laugh lines on the side of your face, and then you can tell my Botox is wearing out right here. I'm ready to go get my Botox done again. I get it done about every 4 months, and I have them do it up here, and then sometimes in my crow's feet. My crow's feet are not as bad this time, but up here my forehead muscles are really, really strong. So, okay, so you get to that point. Now you're gonna do like the color that you like, that's gonna be your, so why they call this hack, like in mascara, they'll call it HAC, hack, and it's highlight and contour. So they're basically saying you doing the one-step foundation, just adding blush and lipstick or whatever, doesn't work anymore. That, like, you can literally give yourself a facelift by, like, just painting the illusion of what highlight and contouring looks like. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. My overall color, and it depends on, like, so it's winter, and I haven't had any sun. I have no sun or even a spray tan, anything. So it's gonna change depending on, you know, how tan you are. But mine, right now, I'm using a color, it's called Candlelit. And I kind of just, so I'm dabbing my brush in here, and you don't need a lot of it. That's the things I love about it, is my highlight color, which is this, right now it's the Candlelit, it will last, like I ordered it, I wanna say in October or November, and I just ran out of a tin, and this is a brand new tin. So what I do is I just go through all the places that you would put maybe your main foundation color. So I'm just going through, putting my main foundation color on, like you would, you know, normally. Some people don't put it here. I kind of just do it there, but some people leave this contouring spot. They're like, why put double makeup on there when you're gonna contour it anyway? I do anyway. I just do it just because I'm getting it. But I kind of stay away from my eyes because I'm gonna come back to my eyes. So I don't do my eyes right now. I just leave them alone. So I'm just going around putting my color all over my face. Now keep in mind, this goes a long way. A couple dabs into the product is gonna like give you, you're gonna get as much coverage as you want. And because I'm not doing like a full face, like a full, you know, going out to dinner, I'm not gonna do a ton. I'm not gonna do a ton on that. And you know, sometimes it's funny, like I change up my routine, believe it or not. I'm a really ritualistic person, but I change up my routine, and sometimes I'll do my eyes first, just so it's not gonna like come onto this. But I found a way so that the black doesn't transfer. Have you ever noticed when you use your other makeup that like by maybe a few minutes or after that, you can see your mascara's kind of like flaked off and then this starts to get dark? I've found a way to not do that anymore. Oh my gosh, it drove me nuts. Okay, so what I do is like, because I have these laugh lines right here, I kind of do this. I puff out my cheek and then kind of go up that laugh line, because I try to minimize it. Same thing on my lips, because I have like inherent that, you know, where your lips get kind of like the straw or the smoker lip, you know, and mine does that too. So I kind of go there. And I haven't put a ton on here, and this is like taking a lot longer because I'm showing you how to do it, where when I'm doing it and I'm getting ready for work, oh my gosh, it's fast, fast, fast. Okay, so I've got all of that on. Again, I'm gonna stay away from my eyes for just a minute. I'm coming back to them, so don't worry about these. They're gonna be all right. So then I'm gonna do my contour, and depending on what your, and all of these should be color matched, so don't just like buy, so you're not gonna buy a whole bunch of stuff that you're not gonna need. You just send, and I'll show you how to send a picture to me before, and then I'll color match you and send it back. The best way is you hold it in natural light, meaning in front of a window, or doesn't the car have really, really good lighting? But I want, Harmony taught me that she wants a natural light picture with you with your makeup, and then a natural light with you without your makeup, because she wants to see kind of what kind of colors you use. And so she's teaching me like that's the easiest way to find people's kind of their taste and what they're doing. So if you're wondering what my dress is, it is called I think it's a muumuu, and it's from Lounge and Live. And it's something I wear whenever I'm getting ready, and then it's so easy because I can slip it over my head and it doesn't like mess up my makeup or my hair. But it is a little bit gargantuous, but it's okay. It's all good, right? Okay, so I get off topic a lot. So I just make sure I have all that done. And the next part we're gonna see is make sure this gets blended under your neck, especially if you like didn't get, you know, if that's a darker, some people use a darker color on and make sure that's color matched. Okay, blended. All right. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the contour. And so I'm excited for my new brushes because I have to like make do with this one little brush, because they have an actual contour brush that is so slick. It's like, it's fan and it's smaller and it's so much better. But what I do, waiting for that, is I squeeze my end of this brush, my 30-second hack, and I squeeze it like this. Oh, another thing a lot of people ask is like, well, do you like wipe off your brush in between your, you know, when you're using it with the contour and the highlight? I don't, because this transfers onto your face. It doesn't soak up into the brush. It's the amazing, amazing brush. I've tried all the brushes, believe it or not. I've tried them all. This is a good brush. Okay, so I'm gonna squeeze the end of this like this. And then because I'm just doing this for fun and I'm really not going anywhere, I'm gonna do, I'm using Astoria, that's my contour color. And so I'm not gonna do a really, really dark contour, but if I was going at night, this is so crazy, but I use this a lot. And it's called, this color is called Cola. I have had this as one of my original colors. It's almost been, in July it'll be a year. So that's all I've used of it. And that's the beauty of that. All this was my original like colors that I got, is you don't use a ton of it. And if you use that, you only replace a little tin and it's free shipping. It's like crazy. I believe that the tins are like, for the highlight and contour, they're 14. And for the eyeshadows, they are, let's see, how much are they? 11. And then the brushes are really reasonable price. Like you're not gonna get a better like makeup, and then the coverage is amazing. Okay, so moving on. So if I was going out at night and it was gonna be like a heavier makeup, I would use the Cola every time. It just gives a really, really pretty look, and it's like a more, you know, finished and evening. But today I'm gonna use Astoria, which is a little bit lighter. And I noticed that kind of has a little bit of a taupe look to it, which I really like. So here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna find our cheekbone right here. Okay, so here's mine. And I'm gonna come from here, not quite to this line right here. So the typical is you don't wanna go to the end of this, you know, you want it to line up with the end of your brow right here. But I don't even like it to go that far. I actually end right about here. And so I'm going to bring that in here, and then I'm going to do up here along my forehead because I want to shadow it and bring the focus to this like little, I always look at like, have you ever seen the little Disney bear and he has like a white face and the rest of his body's brown? That's kind of what you're making. You're making, these are the ears and down, like you want the focus to come here. Okay, so that is what I'm doing. And I had to make a disclaimer. I am not a makeup artist. This is just how I do my makeup every single day. Okay, so I'm gonna do my contour on my cheeks first. So again, I find my cheekbone and I come in from that. Okay, and it looks like a really hard line, and I want it to be a hard line. Now, some people will go like this, and they'll dab it, and they'll dab it, and I do a hard line because it just works out for me. And you'll find your own way that you're gonna do your own makeup. Everybody does. But every day I feel like I learn something new that is better. And I think too, like you find products that are gonna work well with this product, and that's what I've done. Like, it's kind of like going to the same restaurant every single time and ordering the same thing. You're gonna have different products that you love. Use them. But this is what I've found that has really helped me, like literally give me a facelift, and it doesn't, and it lasts forever, and it doesn't settle on the wrinkles. Okay, so then after I do that, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do along my forehead right here. Sometimes I bring it down a little bit more. What I have to be careful of is that I have little teeny blonde hairs right here, so sometimes I'll push it into that, but that's really what you're trying to do. So I take it in there with my hard line, and then now I'm gonna blend. So I'm gonna just take this, and I just blend it and bring it down. Because all you're trying to do, so depending on how big your forehead is, you're just trying to shadow that so it's not accentuating the forehead. You want it to accentuate, you know, you want to bring the focus here. So, and sometimes I bring it just down a little bit lower depending on, so my hair kind of swoops this way so it covers up a lot of that. But I know people that I typically have like a longer face, and so I do that. And I haven't quite got whether I like to outline my chin or not, but I'm going to today just for the sake of showing you what that looks like. So I blended that, I brought that, so this is a little bit darker, and then I'm just gonna, I don't want to blend this out too much because when we get done, we want it to stay kind of a hard line, because when we get done, we put, I put a setting powder on it, and then it kind of lightens this hard line. So I want it to kind of stay a little bit, which seems a bit dramatic right now, but when you're done, it will look really good. Okay, so I just kind of just dab that, and I don't go too much up and down like this. I just kind of make sure that that's in where that hard line's there. Okay, so many of the mascara artists will take their contour and they'll take it from this ear down here. Now, depending on if you want to minimize the length of your face or if you want it to look longer is where you're going to put that line. So I just kind of go right underneath the chin right there. And then I blend down my neck. Because all these, again, it's like Art 101, you're trying to make the illusion that you have a longer neck. And so that's what I do. So then I just kind of blend it. Okay, so my hard line of my face is right there. And I'm not going to do my eyes. I'm actually going to use the mascara to do my eyes to make it really, really simple. I'm not, because everybody does their eyes a little bit different. So today I'm just going to do the most simple eye and actually use my mascara palette for that you can use on your eye. The only thing is when you do it on your eyes, you need to do some kind of top, like a setting powder or like an eyeshadow, because it is a little bit like it being a cream. If you do your eyeliner, it will transfer not having a powder above it. So that's just one thing. So one of the things that I use is I go through and I do like a little bit of I'm using their color Plum, which is in their cheek and their lip and cheek, and I just do a little bit. Look, that's just barely tapping them. Again, I've had this for almost a year, so you don't use very much. So I go through there, and then I actually, because I kind of want it to keep the color, and it does look obnoxious for a minute, because you're thinking, that is just so dark, but when I get my setting powder on, it just blends, and it's so nice. So I kind of just, you can see those hard lines right there. And then I'm going to use the most crazy color. This is called Ruby, and it is so bright. And you put it right on the apple. You don't want it to go into the eye, so you just kind of want to keep it right here. But it goes like that. It's so pigmented that it goes a long ways, just that little bit of color. And then I'm actually going to put this on my lip too. and then I just put a gloss over the top since I'm not doing a ton. I'm not even gonna outline my lips. Like if I'm going out, I'll outline them, but I'm not. I'm just gonna do like a little. So I use the plum on my cheek and then now on my lip. Okay, so there's that. So now I'm gonna take, same brush, and I'm just gonna kind of just, we're adding that color into the cheek. Okay, so now I've got color in my cheek, and now I'm gonna do the nose. So the contouring the nose, I have actually really long, kind of thinner nose, and I thought, why would I wanna do it? But it really does make such a big difference to contour the nose. So what I do, so a lot of people will put the line, I'm doing the same thing where I'm squeezing the brush and I'm making the line down my nose, but you can do it with your fingers and just do it that way. It's really precise if you use your finger, but I'm gonna use my brush. So I'm gonna get really close. I just want the littlest in between. Now, if you get in there, this is the beauty of this makeup, it is so forgiving. You can fix it. So I just kind of do it on my nostrils, on the tip of my nose. So I look that way, and I don't want to blend it too much again because it takes a lot of the contour. So I'm going to use my Beauty Blender on this one. So I can just press it in. And then what I do, if some of this bled into the middle, try to clean it up with my finger a little bit. And then I go through with the lightest color that I have, which is, what is this one? It's called Linen. And I go through and I take it all the way up. Okay, so that is, and I just kind of tap it to be done. Okay, so now I'm gonna do my eyes. This is literally all I do. This is Desert Sunset, and it's just like a, I don't know, it's like a peachy color, which you'd never think would look good on your eyes, but watch. Not very much at all, because it goes a long way. Okay, so I'm just going for a natural look. I'm just gonna probably put on the top of this, I'm gonna do eyeliner on my top lid, and I'm gonna put mascara, and then my eyes are gonna be done. I'm not gonna do any more. That's the natural. I'm not gonna do any more with my eyes because I want it to look more natural, like I didn't, you know, try very hard, even though it looks like I did. Okay, so now that I have it to this far, I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna try to correct these right here, and then I'm going to, I need to put something, and they're all of their lash, their mascara colors are amazing. Grace has all of them downstairs, so I'm gonna just use my own. And this is just like a clear, I tried to match it the best color that I could with the underneath, just so I'm putting a top coat on this so my eyeliner won't transfer. That's all I'm doing. Okay, so that's all I've done. I'm not even like, so usually when I do my eyes though, I'll take, and I ordered a brush, but I'll take the brush and I'll bring it underneath my eyes, but I'm not gonna do that today because I'm not doing my eyes up that much, so I'm trying to make it natural, you know. So then I am going to, so I've gotten to this point, now I'm gonna work with this underneath eye. I have literally tried so many things, but I've made it work with this product. I've made it work with mascara, which I'm using this, it's called Linen. And what I have to do is I have to, like, it will dry pretty quickly. So what I did is I found a finishing powder that I only use on my eyes. I don't use it all over my face. I just do it on my eyes because I don't want to, it's going to brighten a little bit. And it's called Huda Beauty. And so I'm going to get that ready so I can use it right when I'm done doing my eyes. And I'm not going to use very much, but you're going to use your same, a lot of people will use two different ones. They'll use like one beauty blender for the powders, and then they'll use one beauty blender for the creams. I've been using both of them, but I did get a different beauty blender, but I don't love it as much as my other one. So I'll see how it works, but I love my other one so much. So here's what I do. I actually use my, when you use your fingers, it automatically is gonna melt into your, because it's warm, touching warm. And so what I do is I try to just find where it's the darkest. I bring it kind of up into the eye. And this is just the mascara's highlight color. I'm just going in. And I kind of go, I don't go right to the lash line again because it's going to crease for everybody, but I go pretty close to it. Okay, so you can see it automatically starting to brighten, but I kind of want to bring it down here too, so when it drags down. They have a new brush and it's called the Buffy brush, and I can't wait to get it for this very reason for your eyes, because it's so dense. It's gonna take my finger, like doing this with my finger, out of the, it'll be able to be done with a brush. Okay, so now I'm gonna press that in, and you might need to add to it, but now that I've done this with my, I blended it with the Beauty Blender, now I'm gonna actually use my Beauty Blender to go back in and make any corrections that I need to make. But I know that since I did that with my finger that I've got a lot. And then I'm gonna put a little bit right here because this is one of your, and then I'm gonna go down my nose one more time. Okay, so now is when I'm gonna take that powder and I'm gonna finish that. So I've already got it here, and I'm just actually gonna dip that Beauty Blender in. And then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna just put it right underneath my eye. And this one does not crease. A lot of them crease. I've used a lot of different ones, like the Airspun under my eyes. It doesn't work as well under my eyes because it does crease, but it works all over the rest of my face. Okay, so that's really good. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let that stay for a minute. And what is that? What's the word, bake? I don't know. So I only put that where I just put those. Okay, so do you see how that brightened my eyes? Can you see like my dark circles anymore? I mean, it literally is like a miracle worker. My eyes look bigger. I have a hooded eye, and I can all the time, it's like I can't brighten my eyes. And so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and finish that, and then I'm gonna set it. So after you're done doing that, just set it one more time. I'm not gonna do my eyes, like eyeliner and mascara, you guys can figure that out like you do it on your own. Maybe when I get more skilled, I'll do it, but I'm just talking for the natural look. I'm just gonna keep it like this, and then I'll show you what the finished product was. And so I let that sit for a minute, and then I still kind of go back and just make sure that those are in there. And when I say that this is gonna last all day, I'm talking all day long. You're gonna get back and it looks exactly like this. So the last thing that I do, even on like a natural look, is I love the, so they have illuminators and then they have highlighters. The illuminators are a cream, which you'd put right up this cheekbone, or there is a powder, and I use one that's called the Photoshop, and it's my favorite. And I'm like, but I used to use like a brush to do it, and they have like a new brush to set, but if you use it like all over your face, like you don't get it where you need it. So I use my finger right now because I think I'm so particular where I do it. So I just kind of make a C right here, and I make sure that I press it. And this is why it's really important that you do it. If you're gonna use a setting spray, do it before you get, or not a setting spray. Use setting spray, then use your setting powder, and then do this. I'm not using a setting powder because today is not one of those days, because I want it to look a little bit more dewy and natural. But if you use a setting powder on the rest of your face, meaning that if you're gonna use it on your chin, your cheeks, and your forehead, I use Coty Airspun for that, and this is just their translucent, you know what I mean? Like it's just, it doesn't have a color to it, and you can, in fact, I'll show you on my chin. I don't want to do it on my cheeks because I just did that, but you just kind of go through where you're gonna have the most, you know, where it's gonna get shiny, and see how you can kind of see the powder. In fact, I'll go over this and then I'll just do some more highlight. And then you can take, you know, whatever, and just brush the rest off. Okay, so now I'm gonna, like, the last thing you do before you're done is you're gonna take that like either an illuminator right here or this Photoshop highlighter, and I'm gonna just barely tap it right there. You don't want to come in further than here, and you just want it literally on that cheekbone, and it is such a pretty color. It just is, it's just enough, and it's not too much, where it gives just like a perfect glow right there. And then I kind of put it on the end of and then I'll do it on my Cupid's bow right here. And even if I'm just doing like the simple look, I That's what I do. And so that is it. That is all I use. And then the last thing I do is this is my favorite. Madison Cochran, my little friend, gave this to me, and it's the meringue by the NYX or NYX. And they have an eclair color that I use a lot. I mean, I have a lot of their colors. And the reason why is it's just such a pretty gloss, and it goes over their colors really well. So that's the last thing I'm gonna do. And then I'll show you when I'm done, when I get my eyes done, when I do my eyes. And that's it. That's all I do. And it's done. Like the underneath circles are almost gone. It's the easiest look to do, and you can do it in, I'm not kidding, 10 minutes. I took my time to explain it, but you can do it so fast. And I have confidence that you can do it. You can do it by yourself.